An iceberg is an internet format meant to store information about a certain topic, with more well-known information at the top, and as it goes down, the waters get murky and less known information is at the bottom. I personally compiled this iceberg, combining a bunch of other icebergs I found on Reddit. I could not have done this video without the use of the Silent Hill wiki, the SilentHillMemories.net site, as well as the Cutting Room Floor website. So, thank you so much for watching, and let's get to it. Layer 1. The Sky. Pyramid Head. Red Pyramid Thing, or Pyramid Head, first appears in Silent Hill 2. He's essentially the series' icon or mascot. He's based around the original executioners of the town of Silent Hill, who wore red hoods on their heads. Pyramid Head is basically the manifestation of James' desire to be punished for the murder of his wife. He follows James around and can be seen multiple times during the game, attacking or just standing there watching. Robbie the Rabbit. Robbie the Rabbit first appears in Silent Hill 3. He's the in-game mascot of the Lakeville amusement park. He was designed by Usagi Tanaka, who is fairly active on Twitter, so go give them a follow. The Order. The Order is a religious doomsday cult that resides within the town of Silent Hill. They are the main antagonists of the first, third, and fourth game. They kill people, they kidnap young girls to use them as surrogate mothers, and circulate drugs around the town. Members of the Order include the antagonist of the first game, Dahlia Gillespie, Michael Kaufman from Silent Hill 3, Claudia Wolf, Leonard Wolf, and Vincent Smith, and from Silent Hill 4, Walter Sullivan. The Other World. The Other World is the dark and nightmarish, fucked up version of our world, essentially. It has the ability to reflect a person's psyche, be it like another person, yourself, or multiple other people. It reflects the subconscious and personal fears of one person. It's mostly depicted as a decaying, rusted, and blood-stained world. It can have industrial or organical materials resembling gore. Canonical endings. Canonical endings refers to how some games comment on other games' endings, like Silent Hill 1 Good Plus ending results in Alessa reincarnating for the last time, resulting in a baby being born, and that baby growing up to be Heather Mason. The In Water ending from Silent Hill 2 is the most popular contender to be the canonical ending. The novel uses it, and so does the Book of Lost Memory. But honestly, I think it's highly up for interpretation. Maybe the canon ending is the one that feels the most right to you. I don't know. Centralia. Centralia is a ghost town in northeastern Pennsylvania with a declining population because of a coal mine fire that has been burning in an abandoned coal mine since 1962. It doesn't have a zip code, and as of 2020, only 5 residents remain. The reason that it is on this iceberg is that because it's the main inspiration for the town for the movie of Silent Hill, directed by Christopher Guns, most people tend to associate the town as the inspiration for the games, which it isn't. If anything, some stores in Southvale from Silent Hill 2 were based off a town in California called San Bruno. PT. PT is a first-person playable teaser for the canceled Silent Hills game. It's directed by Hideo Kojima and developed by Kojima Studios under an alias. It was released freely for the PS4 in August of 2014. The demo involves the player walking in a looping L-shaped hallway that becomes haunted over time. The demo has you being haunted by the ghost of Lisa, who you can gather the story by bits and pieces throughout the demo. It's a highly influential and praised game, even though it's only a demo. Room 302. Room 302 is a location for the majority of the Silent Hill 4 The Room game. It's located in the city of South Ashfield and in the apartment building South Ashfield Heights. As a gameplay standpoint, it's sort of a safe room where you can store your items and save your progress, but later on the environment becomes hostile to the player. The Halo of the Sun and the Seal of Metatron. The Seal of Metatron are 2 of the most prominent symbols in the Silent Hill series. The Halo of the Sun is the signature symbol of the Order, and the most simple way that I can describe it is sort of the equivalent of a crucifix in the Christian religion. The halo of the sun is full of symbols such as zodiac signs, chemical symbols. The lettering on the circumference is Rovasidas, an old Hungarian alphabet, although there are some Nordic alphabets thrown in there as well. Some of the things written are a lizard, Incubus, Dahlia, and Alessa. Fun fact, but I actually have this tattooed on my left arm, and I did not know it said any of that. The seal of Metatron is a talisman, and unfortunately it doesn't have as much meaning as the halo of the sun, but they do tend to work in tandem with one another. I believe that while the halo of the sun strengthens the Order's power, the seal of Metatron helps to weaken it. Dahlia and Claudia dismiss the seal's powers, much to their demise. Harry, James, Heather, and Henry. Harry, James, Heather, and Henry are all protagonists of the first 4 games. Harry is a lonely novel writer that at 25 years old, along with his wife Jodie Mason, found a baby on the side of the road that he named Cheryl. Later on, Jodie would die, leaving Harry to raise Cheryl all on his own. James is a 29 office clerk to a small company. He's married to Mary Shepherd Sunderland, who he met at a house party held by a mutual friend. Later on, Mary would become ill, and to cope with it, James would drink to the point of becoming dependent on it. James is polite and kind, although really careless and borderline suicidal at times. Heather is a moody, albeit carefree teenager. She likes shopping and going to the mall, and she is sarcastic and snarky, but she is very kind and loves her father very much. Henry is a very introverted photographer who lives in room 302. He's quiet and altruistic. He tries to help as much people as he encounters. He has been living on the apartment for 2 years when it became a sort of makeshift prison. Unlike all of the other protagonists before him, Henry finds himself entangled with the supernatural, not as sort of a past sin or previous involvement, like the dude lived a pretty normal, comfortable life until that point. It can be said that it's a coincidence that he found himself on there, but who knows? Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is a multiplayer survival horror with players acting as survivors and one player acting as the killer. In June 16th of 2020, an entire chapter based around Silent Hill as part of a crossover was released. It features Heather, who can dress up as Lisa Garland, Alessa Gillespie, Sybil Bennett, and Maria, as well as Pyramid Head. There are 2 character skins for him called Corrupt Executioner and Forgeborn Executioner. With the chapter, they released a map of Midwich Elementary School, a location seen on the first Silent Hill. In October 2021, they also released James and Pyramid Blight, a skin for Pyramid Head. There's also 3 potential scenarios for Heather Pull Silent Hill 3, depending on the ending. They include moving on, starting over, and this Order one like a 100% inspired by the Possessed ending. There's also a new skin for Pyramid Head, but who cares? Fun fact, but Pyramid Head was actually in a fair bit of controversy surrounding this chapter because people thought his ass had gone smaller after an update, which the developer had to clarify. Quote, "I can confirm that while our art team did continue to polish Pyramid Head, his butt remained unchanged. The apron covering his body was modified, which might create the illusion that his body was also changed." In August of 2021, they updated his ass again with a patch quoting, "Fixed an issue that caused the executioner's rear to be too flat." On in a statement with Polygon, he clarifies, quote, "Pyramid Head behind was never nerfed. This said, we recently found a bug in one of our outfits that corrupted. The cloth covering his butt had clipping issues that made it, well, flat. I hope that you and our community agree on the level of roundiness," end quote. Which is so beautiful in my opinion, it makes me tear up. Layer 2, the tip of the iceberg. UFO endings. UFO endings are a staple in the Silent Hill series. They are seen in Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3. In the first Silent Hill, Harry is abducted by aliens on top of the lighthouse. In Silent Hill 2, James is abducted by aliens with the help of Harry. In Silent Hill 3, Heather comes home to see Harry totally alive, drinking tea with an alien. Harry does not give a fuck about the alien sitting beside her dad and tells him all about what she has seen in Silent Hill. And Harry, pissed the fuck off, jump kicks a wooden board held by James, who I think is being held hostage. The next scene is an UFO attack on the town of Silent Hill. Japanese men impersonating children start singing about the Silent Hill 3 characters as the credits roll. It's awesome. I love this franchise. Silent Hill HD Collection. The Silent Hill HD Collection is a rather infamous port of Silent Hill 2 and 3 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 consoles. It has an alternate voice dub that received very mixed reception. Fun fact, but Troy Baker, yes, Troy Baker of Last of Us fame actually voices James, and Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, who does the amazing singing for the Silent Hill 3 and for soundtracks, actually voices Mary. This port is infamous because of its, let's put it that way, changes, like changing the Silent Hill ranch sign to be, I kid you not, Comic Sans, and the Mary tape to look like this, which actually makes it more difficult to realize that James is smoldering Mary with a pillow, which is so fucking funny. The port also has a myriad of technical issues. The game freezes, it crashes, the game has lag and frame rate drops, it has graphical glitches, the audio glitches, there's audio missing, there's missing shadows, there are inaccurate textures, pixelated shadows, blurry scenes where it should have no blur, and non-blurry scenes where it should be blur. There's also this part of the manual where it repeats the phrases, defeat enemies and solve puzzles as you progress deeper and deeper into the story. Yeah, thanks man, I will. Movie adaptations. Silent Hill has 3 movie adaptations up to this point. Silent Hill 2006, directed by Christopher Guns, that features a totally hot butch Sybil. Silent Hill Revelation, released in 2012, directed by M.G. Bassett, which has a somewhat really good casted Heather. Both of these movies average a 6 out of 10 on IMDb. A lot of misconceptions such as Centralia and The Fog Being Ashes are because of the 2006 movie. Also, the only reason why Pyramid Head is sexy now is because of this movie. As of 2026, Christopher Guns is releasing a new movie based around Silent Hill called Return to Silent Hill. It features James with a grungier punk rock look with a totally new sports car. Yeah, we totally needed that. Con Air. Con Air is a 1997 action thriller movie directed by Simon West. It stars Nicolas Cage, John Cusack, John Malkovich, and Steve Buscemi. And like, holy shit, is that Marion Laura? Yeah, so Team Silent actually does this a lot, even more so. Outfits in Silent Hill 2, weirdly enough, for example, while not confirmed, it's pretty damn obvious that Maria's outfit was very clearly heavily inspired by this Christina Aguilera's Choice Award look that she used in 1999. Kindergarten Cop. Kindergarten Cop is a 1990 action comedy movie directed by Ivan Reitman and starred by Arnold Schwarzenegger. So the school in the movie was very clearly used as direct inspiration for Midwich Elementary School for the first Silent Hill. The entrance to the school is just one-to-one, they're like the same, and also a lot of the posters get used in the game. The state of Maine. Silent Hill takes place in the state of Maine, most exactly the region of New England. It has 2 very known districts such as Pellville, that includes Old Silent Hill and Lakeside Amusement Park, and Southvale, that includes locations such as Heaven's Night and Rosewater Park. It is a tourist town, although it is kind of falling apart in that department. The population is below 30,000, so it's like a pretty small resort town. Born from a Wish. Born from a Wish is the second scenario included in Silent Hill 2, where you can play as Maria. As far as I'm aware, this is the only DLC-ish scenario that is included in the first 4 games. This scenario has Maria waking up in Heaven's Night. While searching for anybody else in the town full of monsters, she stumbles into Baldwin Mansion. There, she finds Ernest Baldwin, who we never actually see in the game and can only be talked through a locked door. She warns her about James, who she by this point starts to remember more things about. Then, when she opens the door, she finds out Baldwin was never real to begin with. She leaves the mansion and considering taking her own life, but decides against it and goes on to walk into Rosewater Park to find James. Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder is a 1990 psychological horror directed by Adrian Lyne. This movie follows a Vietnam veteran named Jacob Singer, who is plagued by hallucinations and flashbacks. This movie essentially created the look for Silent Hill as we know it. Silent Hill 2 and 3 specifically have a lot of reference to it. The locations in the film, such as the subway and the hospital, are lifted directly from it, and the subway part of Silent Hill 3 is just one-to-one too. Also, James Sunderland and Jacob Singer share the same initials, as well as the same green military jacket, and the head twitching that monsters like Valtiel and the Closer do is a clear homage to the film. It's honestly a must-watch for any Silent Hill fan. Frank Sunderland is James' dad. Frank Sunderland is a superintendent for South Ashfield Heights from Silent Hill 4 The Room, not only because of the obvious surname sharing thing, but also when the player examines the picture above Henry's couch from room 302, Henry states that Frank's son disappeared in Silent Hill. Quote, "I got this photo from Sunderland, the superintendent. I heard his son and daughter disappeared in Silent Hill a few years back," end quote. Walter Sullivan. Walter Sullivan is the main antagonist for Silent Hill 4 The Room. He was a serial killer who grew up in the Order cult, growing up to be a major religious fanatic. His life's goal is to fulfill a ritual called the 21 Sacraments, killing, you guessed it, 21 people in the process. He is very soft-spoken and calm. The 21 Sacraments victims have their hearts removed and are carved with a number out of 21. Walter and his victims are mentioned in Silent Hill 2 prior to his appearance in newspaper articles, and you can even see his grave. Throughout Silent Hill 4, you uncover his story, as the underworld of this game is a symbolization of his fears and past. You can encounter him many times throughout the game, even as a cute little boy. Oh, look at him. Layer 3. Below the surface. Actual actors/actresses being used as face model references. This was a really common feat during the Team Silent days. For example, in the Book of Lost Memories for Silent Hill 3, such as Charlotte Gainsborough and Vanessa Paradis were used as models for Heather early on. For Douglas, actors Ian Holm and Giancarlo Giannini were used as models for his sketches. Julianne Moore was used for the sketches of Claudia Wolf, and for Vincent Smith, he was modeled after actor Ethan Hawke. As for Silent Hill 2, Maria bears a striking resemblance to Cameron Diaz, although this has never been outright confirmed by Team Silent. Some sources I found say that Walter Sullivan was modeled after actor Brendan Fraser, but I couldn't find a direct source from the developers confirming it. Gecko. Gecko is a Japanese company that produces statues, figures, and model kits. Gecko mostly produces edgier figures like for Bloodborne, Berserk, the Dark Souls franchise, and Metal Gear, and also Silent Hill. Some figures for the Silent Hill IP date as far back as 2012, but they also continue to release 1/6 scales to this quality to this day. From what I've seen, they tend to be pretty expensive in the aftermarket, but they are pretty high quality and huge figures. Lisa was dead the entire time. Lisa Garland is a 23-year-old nurse that worked in Alchemilla Hospital. She was tasked with nursing Alessa Gillespie, who was severely burned but still continued to be alive. She helps Harry with information about Silent Hill and says she lost consciousness and woke up in the other world. In her conversations with Harry, she doesn't remember being in charge of treating Alessa, and she says that hospital personnel are not allowed in the basement, where Alessa is being currently held in, and she mentions that she is unable to leave the building. Later on, you find Lisa in the same basement she said staff weren't allowed in, which resulted in her regaining all her memories, including the fact that she was dead. This causes in basically the most beautiful, heart-wrenching cutscene in all of the franchise, in my opinion. You can only watch as Lisa withers, bleeds, and pleads for help. White Claudia. White Claudia is a fictional herb that grows around Silent Hill. The seeds contain highly hallucinogenic properties used in the creation of the drug called PTV, a drug manufactured by the Order cult. The director of Alchemilla Hospital, Michael Kaufman, is secretly a close associate of the Order's priestess, Delia Gillespie. He's charged with dealing the drug to tourists, partnering with his colleague Norman Young. The character mentioned previously, Lisa Garland, is one of many PTV addicts. She's essentially blackmailed by Coffin to continue aiding Alessa, or she wouldn't be having access to the drug anymore. Cut content. There's not a whole lot of cut content in the Silent Hill franchise, but I will note the most notable ones. An unused animation of memory of Alessa climbing down a horse in the carousel, this unused photo of Harry and Heather together, an unused animation of a closer climbing. There's 2 Heather animations of her looking down, up, right, and left, and another one of her looking behind her. There are some unused sounds of a baby crying. In Silent Hill 4, there's an early model of Henry. There are also full unused models with animations for the spiral staircase areas. There's a short unused cutscene, and 1 Eileen haunting. I couldn't find much cut content in Silent Hill 1 and 2, but hey, here's some concept art that I think looks pretty cool. Okay, moving on.